Hey, great day to you. Welcome to review of WorldFirst. WorldFirst is like one-stop platform for e-commerce sellers that are managing global payments and finance. For me, as an Amazon seller, it's more like an online bank as I see it, a way to get paid by Amazon. But WorldFirst covers more than that. In this video, we're gonna dive deep into what they can offer to you, the viewer, and hopefully if you're looking for such a solution to get paid by companies, for example, as an e-commerce seller, then hopefully WorldFirst is going to be such a solution for you. Today, we're going to cover things that are connected to it. In the description, we're going to have a special link to sign up for WorldFirst through myself. Great to meet you. My name is VOVAWF. I'm an Amazon seller since 2016 and a YouTuber since about 2018, having fun on this platform. And the link is going to be an affiliate link, means that if you ever do business with WorldFirst, I'm going to get a little commission from that at no extra cost to you. And this way you can support the free content here. We don't have any paid content on that channel. We don't have any paid interviews. It's all based on friendships, relationships, and we're trying to grow together. So if you use my link, that will be highly appreciated. And also there's going to be a special coupon code and we'll do our best to give you the best offer with the link. Today with me, Shawn. He is head of biz dev at WorldFirst. And Shawn is going to help us today understand how WorldFirst can help you. So Shawn, can you introduce yourself, man? Good to see you here. Welcome.
Hi, thank you. Thank you for having me during this session. Again, my name is Shawn. Hello from London. Let me have a few words trying to help us understand who is WorldFirst, what we can do, what we can enable into the e-commerce world, right? As mentioned earlier, the WorldFirst is a one-stop platform managing the global payments and finance, especially for the global e-commerce sellers, service providers, any players around this playground or we say e-commerce ecosystem. Our online platform is consolidating all the key functionalities, connecting marketplaces, sellers, and further service provider ecosystem across one single portal access across the regions as well over the digital account, right, which we named as a World account. A few words about our history, right? WorldFirst has been funded in the UK like 2 decades ago, has been growing globally since WorldFirst has joined Ant Group, which is a top fintech innovation powerhouse worldwide. Since then, we are expanding our coverage globally alongside the e-commerce development footprint over the regions for 2 decades. And right now, we are proud to say we're one of the top payment service provider or payment method for you to receive and pay from all the mainstream marketplaces over the regions, right? And name them Amazon, eBay, right? Shein, some very unique vertical platform as well. We're able to consolidate all these marketplaces connections for the sellers and service providers into the centralized account system. Talking about the coverage, right? Right now we have 32 global offices, all located in the vital or strategic located into the e-commerce business hubs, supply chain hubs, as well as the financial centers across the region. These local offices is representing a local intelligence, right, and has reached remarkable $300 billion transaction volume by the end of 2024, which is a remarkable milestone for us, right? And this also representing the trust we've been given from the past 2 decades from over 1 million users, which are typically importers, exporters, e-commerce sellers as merchants, typically SMEs. Yeah, that's basically who we are.
Nice to have you here, man. Let me understand you correctly. I'm an Amazon seller these days. I am looking for a way to get paid from the marketplace. So I can get paid somewhere, right, to an account. So then I can send my money to, let's say, my bank account. Can I do that with WorldFirst? Can I connect it to, say, Amazon or other marketplaces that you offer? By the way, I'll do my best in the description to plug in maybe blog posts from your websites to see exactly what marketplaces you cover, so it can be good for our viewer. But
sure. We
as
have
an
a
Amazon seller,
section. Yeah, we have a dedicated section in a website highlighting the mainstream and the full list of the marketplaces connections.
yeah, cool. We'll plug it in the description. But then
Sure.
how does it work? So as a seller, for example, what do? I first open an account with you, then do I connect it to the marketplace? Can I send money then from that account also to my local bank account or something like that?
Sure, sure. Let me run through this from a user journey perspective,
Yeah.
right? If
Yeah.
I'm a new user, no matter I'm an e-commerce seller or importer exporters, right? All the journey of the service will be able to interacting with you over the line, which is fully digitalized. You don't have to go outside of your hometown, right? You can do everything over the laptop. So opening an account, being onboarded, yeah, this is something we start with, right? And simply saying you upload the profile of your business and the key controllers behind the entities as well. Nothing quite different from a typical banking or digital banking service, right? And have all this data validated and assume the account will go live. Typically, we spend 1 or 2 days, sometimes same day, right? If the readiness of the documentation is super clear, you can activate your account with your login details in portal. So talking about the usage, the functionality part, in answering your question, simply saying is a big yes. It's a big yes, right? You can receive or withdraw the revenue received from these marketplaces for your selling all over the places. We cover more than 130 regions or countries, right? No matter you're selling in Far East, in North America, Europe, UK, you will be able to use the one single access, one single account to receive the multiple currencies online, right, from these marketplaces. And from the other direction, right, if you're going to receive a third-party payment from the bank account, typical bank account, SWIFT transfer, right, SEPA transfer in Europe, we'll be able to provide you that as a typical banking transfer or SWIFT transfer services. It's pretty much standard. Has been set up within your account system as well. So simply saying you can go both ways. You can go both ways. You can also distribute your expenses, your supply payment into their WorldFirst account, third-party payment service provider account, as well as the bank account. Right, all this service on top of the digitalized experience you have over the portal, we also have the local service team always standing by for you, right? If you have questions or queries or troubleshooting.
Pretty awesome. And yeah, again, I'll remind our viewers to check out the link in the description to sign up so they can start the process if they're interested. And as you mentioned, there is some documentation that's needed, I guess, for that know your customer thing, KYC, right? You guys want to understand that we're legit, that we have documents that kind of show that we have a business in a specific location, we have an address, right? All these basic things. And whatever would be needed, you will explain to us like through the onboarding. So should be easy if I understand correctly. And Shawn, I'm curious, is this only for businesses? Is WorldFirst only for businesses or individuals that want to have an account just for their needs, like maybe buying things online or having just an account to get payments from other accounts they have? Can they use WorldFirst for that, or it's only for businesses?
Yeah, very good question. Very good question. Yeah, to draw the line, WorldFirst is designed and built right all towards the e-commerce players or global traders, right? So mainly we're covering the legal entities, the business accounts, like a corporate bank account, right? But meanwhile, we also support the account opening for the sole traders. Right, the sole trader, but keep in mind the sole traders have a different kind of definition and regulatory requirements over different countries. Right, it could be a one size fits all answer. It highly depends where you're located, right, and what kind of ID and passport you're holding. And I will highly recommend to check this before you really log in your details or upload the detail before you open the account. So WorldFirst, in our portal, we have a very detailed list of what kind of user we're able to onboard, what kind of users we need, maybe some extra verification or some of the area we couldn't do.
So if it's just someone who is not a trader, not a sole trader, not a business, just like a person who is not a businessman or in any way, just someone who needs an online bank account, WorldFirst then is not necessarily for them. The people who are not doing any sort.
Not necessarily them. Largely because even if you're able to sign up and log in, right, you will feel you couldn't access to the essential personal e-wallets or personal banking accounts, what you need around the portal, right? Again, our focus, we highly centralize in providing a service to worldwide e-commerce sellers.
I understand. Okay, so I understand. So it's mainly for for e-commerce players of different of small businesses, bigger businesses, everyone can get help from WorldFirst, and this is the main audience that uses your product. And as you mentioned, over 1 million customers served and over 300 billion in transactions, which is quite a huge milestone until the end of the last year, 2024. But then, can we send money to our own selves? So let's say I have a business account, maybe I have a business bank in my own country, and I want to send money to WorldFirst bank in order for me to pay my supplier. Maybe my supplier in China says, hey man, Vova, I can do business with you. However, I would love to get paid through WorldFirst because for them it's comfortable to do business. And my bank in my country, I cannot pay from my country to that other country, for example, from my own bank account for some reason. So then can I send money from my bank account in my country, I guess, to WorldFirst through that Swift transaction or something like that, right? You mentioned, or other name in Europe. Can that be done?
Let me expand this a little bit,
Yeah,
right?
please.
We have a few lags to complete the transaction you just mentioned. So the first lag, technically, we name it as a top-up, right? We are able to provide you, we call it same name top-up from the bank account you have with the same name or same business name, right? You'll be able to send the money directly into the WorldFirst account by inputting the IBAN code or SWIFT code, because as long as you have an activate WorldFirst account, you'll be able to access to know what is your IBAN code and SWIFT code, right? Able to make the bank transfer. But this journey, we name it as a top up. Then the balance of your WorldFirst account, you will see the balance increased, right, based on how much you transfer. The lead time depends, right? Depends your banking system where we live in, right? So again, once the balance has been topped up, right, you will be able to take control of your external payment into the third parties. As I mentioned, you have a various options with, right, paying into the third party bank account, right, via the SWIFT, right? We are able to do this fully online. And meanwhile, talking about your suppliers, right? If you're sourcing from Far East country like China or Southeast Asia, this is one of the edge, I'm proud to say, for WorldFirst, right? Because it could happen that time to time, if you speak to supplier, ask them, right, whether they have a WorldFirst account, a majority of the mainstream exporters, manufacturers, distributors, time to time, they have an existing WorldFirst account, which we called ledger to ledger, technically, ledger to ledger transfer within the WorldFirst account system, right, with our own network. So WorldFirst account A to WorldFirst account B, the transaction could be totally free, depending on the currency pairing, right? Could be free of charge. Meanwhile, instantly arrives into the third-party account. These will cut down the cycle of receiving the fund from the supplier part and really cut down the lead time for loading your cargo or preparing the cargo and drop the warehouse, right? And help you to accelerate your supply chain.
Cool, man. Yeah, so that means we can top up our account. Let's say I'm an e-commerce business, and actually I'm an e-commerce business, Amazon seller.
Yeah.
I can top up my account because I want to send money to my supplier, for example. Plus, I can connect the marketplace, so I can start getting paid by Amazon. Okay, if I understand correctly, and then I can pay to an account of my supplier in China, say. Then they will instantly in this account to account transaction, they will get the money, which is pretty nice, right? Because then we can start a business straight away. We can start production, say, of a few thousand.
It also provides you a peace of mind, both from you as supplier side, because this transaction is super transparent and highly trackable, right? Over a portal, and make it easier to build trust, especially when you're dealing with the new suppliers, right? The first time.
Okay.
Right. Yeah, having a WorldFirst account in Asia or in China as a manufacturer exporters is also an endorsement. It's also an endorsement of the qualification of the supply, probably, because we talk about the complexity, right, the verification part, right? We take very high standard of verification to ensure they are legit, they are reputable suppliers, right? So once someone is telling you they are WorldFirst user, right, provides you with another level of peace of mind.
Yeah, that's true, man. As a seller, like when we're searching for suppliers, we want to find legit suppliers, of course, which makes sense, right? But in the mind of a seller, I'm speaking as a seller, like, whatever platform you're using or wherever you're finding your suppliers, you might be like, hey, like, okay, seems fine, but are these guys legit? Okay, let's check their website. Let's see what payment processors are they connected to, etc. So, and because you guys at WorldFirst are checking them and vetting the suppliers carefully, I guess, and then
Yeah,
this gives extra peace of mind to sellers. Like, okay, so these guys have a WorldFirst account, means like they have been verified, they have a legit business kind
exactly,
of
exactly.
documents,
You're
and
very spot on. Yeah, very
yeah, that's
spot
that.
on. Moreover, as I
Mm,
mentioned, we have a 1 million merchants community right across the globe, right? We even helping some of the sellers or SMEs creating business opportunities, right, within a account system within the network of this 1 million merchants network, because
mhm.
it's a large interconnected supply chain, downstream, upstream, right? You will be able to make the transactions within this accounting system, right,
Mhm.
in a very high level of security.
Yeah, pretty awesome, man. And that kind of brings me to the next question. I'm thinking there's million users, right? That's quite a lot, right? People
Mhm.
from Europe, China, States, different currencies are involved. Let's say I have a supplier in China and maybe they can be paid in US dollars. Maybe Amazon US pays me in US dollars, but
Yeah.
maybe I want to pay a supplier in Europe and they need euro. Can I exchange within the platform, or how is there something like that too, or does it exchange automatically through the transaction? Like, how does it work? That's interesting.
Yeah. Another great question again.
Thanks, man. Let's
Yeah.
go.
Talking about the currencies and countries, the main design is what we call multi-currency and multi-country local accounts, right? Practically saying, once you have an active WorldFirst account, you'll be able to keep adding up the local receiving or local paying accounts under the WorldFirst single access ID. For example, you're activating your new shop in somewhere in Europe, we will be able to provide you a European IBAN code as a local banking account, right? You're able to receive and pay in euro local currencies. And talking about the currencies, right? We are able to access into more than 20 currencies across the globe, basically
Mhm.
covering all the mainstream currencies and some most frequent used exotic currencies, right? Because talking about paying or receiving locally, this is something big for a new e-commerce seller for their market entry, right? Because this close the gap between you and your consumer, you and your marketplaces.
So again, let's say I get paid from a marketplace. Let's say in Amazon US, I get US dollars, right?
US dollar. Yeah.
I have US dollars in my account now. Let's say a beautiful $20,000, right?
You
I'm like,
put
oh,
twenty
awesome.
thousand dollars, yeah, into your US dollar account, right?
Yes.
Into that pot, right?
Uh-huh. Okay, so I
Yeah.
connect my US dollar account within WorldFirst that I get from WorldFirst. I connect it to Amazon US because Amazon US pays in dollars, right? Which makes sense. Then I
Yeah.
have 20K bucks,
Balance.
US dollars, yes, in my
Yeah.
account. And now let's say I want to transfer it to a supplier of mine in Europe that has euro. And
Mhm.
I still haven't gotten euro into my account. I only have the $20,000.
Mhm.
Again, maybe you did answer that. Maybe I missed that in your answer.
That's
But
absolutely fine. That's absolutely fine. That's talking about the scenario, right?
yeah, yeah,
Receiving in one currency but
yeah, yeah.
paying out
Hmm.
into
Hmm.
another currency, right? We are able to support that absolutely, yeah, because the multi-currency accounts, we always support 24 hours online conversion,
Uh-huh.
right? Talking about the conversion, we are pretty proud that we have the best in class of the market about the conversion the FX rates, right?
Hmm.
So all these mainstream currencies, we're able to provide you the best rate, which is real time. So you can choose to convert them instantly after you receive and pay out for
Hmm.
distribution, right, for your suppliers. And you can also choose to reserve this a little bit, right, to make a forward contract to hash the currency risk, because currency risk, talking about currency risk, is something like a big topic when you're selling into the multi country marketplaces, right? Yeah, help you to stay financially fitness.
Okay, yeah, that's good to be fit financially and also physically. You know what I mean? Like, but
Yeah,
yeah, but all
yeah,
right, man.
financial. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the main topic I pull
Yeah.
for in front of all the e-commerce sellers.
Yeah, for sure, man, for sure. Okay, so that's cool. That means like we'll be able to then have the money in euros and 24/7. So let's say we got in $20,000 and we need to pay 5,000 euro to the supplier. So through the converter within the system, we can convert the money. It will then go to our euro account.
Yeah, into your account automatically, right? Which means that part of the balance being top up, you're able to click the button for payment, right? Into WorldFirst account, bank account, whatsoever.
That's cool, man. Yeah, I understand. And we send it to the supplier. Boom, deal done. Production started. Let's go. Pretty awesome. Now, Shawn, I wanted to ask you, man, also regarding those accounts in different kind of currencies, but also countries. Let's say an account in euro, right? Let's say, what does it mean, an account in euro? Is it going to be like based in what country? Is it like an account in Germany or something? What does it mean even physically? Like, is there a number to it? Can you explain to us, please?
Yeah, sure. Again, alongside the multi-currency, right, we're able to provide you multiple local accounts, local bank accounts within the WorldFirst account framework, which we call World account. For example, if you are selling in Singapore before, have a Singaporean local account in WorldFirst, now you have expanded your footprint into selling into German, right? Into Germany. We'll be able to activate and provide you local Germany bank account with a local IBAN code, local SWIFT code from day one, which takes weeks or even months from a local bank, from a local high street bank. This provides you the instant access and withdrawing your income from another country of the marketplaces you're working with.
Yeah, pretty fascinating, man, how easy in one platform these days we can expand to new marketplaces, right? Because as you mentioned, like going and opening a bank account now in any country, even if you have all the documents, which of course you should have, and only that way you will be able to, it takes a while, right? Like, which is, yeah.
Working with us, in a nutshell, is a plug and play service. Right, you just have a few clicks, activate a new country, a new currency. There is it. Boom, you can receive it.
Awesome. About the fees, like you mentioned, there are currently no fees between accounts. So if we send US dollars from one WorldFirst account to another WorldFirst account, there's zero fees. So let's say we send $5,000 to our supplier that likes to receive money in US. They receive 5,000.
Yeah, always. No receiving fees, no transaction fees for either side. As long as both of the side you have existing WorldFirst account.
Okay, cool. But then let's say I send money from, or I receive money from Amazon as a payment. Is there fees on that? So an incoming payment from a marketplace. Let's say Amazon sends us some money. Let's say also $10,000. Say we had nice sales. Boom, they send us $10,000. Is there a fee on that money that is incoming?
Simply answer no. Yeah, we don't charge any processing transaction fees for you to withdraw from these marketplaces, right? Because we connected with more than 130 marketplaces of the globe. We are the qualified service provider SPN network for all of them, right? We are able to create the direct connections, the portals for the payment gateway for you to withdraw your income.
Okay, so when we receive the money from the marketplace, no fee.
Yeah, it's free of charge. You will be able to receive the funds in full into the WorldFirst balance.
Awesome. A reminder of viewer, we have again the link to WorldFirst to create an account in the description with a special code, and we'll try to have the best kind of offer with time for that link, maybe some goodies that this link will provide. So yeah, that's in the description. And other fees, man, if Shawn, we withdraw money from WorldFirst, say I'm feeling like traveling now, right? I love to travel and I made some money on Amazon. I think it's a nice way to reward myself with a little travel. I want to say withdraw money from WorldFirst to my bank account, let's say that I have in Europe somewhere. And then I use my account there to travel, to pay with that account. Can I do that? And are there fees for withdrawal from WorldFirst to an account, say somewhere in Europe or in USA or somewhere?
Yeah, functionality-wise, yeah, absolutely yes. You are able to withdraw this into your own bank account or your business account as well, right? Depends on the currency and whether it's a domestic transaction or a cross-border transaction. There will be some professional transaction fees, right? The fees vary, but we have a very transparent rate table, portal during your sign in, or you can check the fees anytime, log into your account system.
So basically, there are fees on withdrawal. It depends on marketplace or kind of on, I would say, more so on locations of banks where we withdraw.
We only charge the withdrawal from your WorldFirst balance into your bank account, right? We don't charge anything that you withdraw from the marketplace into your WorldFirst balance.
By the way, kind of, I maybe should have asked it previously. Is WorldFirst bank account free? Do we need to pay you money for signing up?
Not at all. Not at all. Yeah, because again, we're pretty inclusive. That's why we won the trust of 1 million users, right? We would never charge any monthly fees or subscription fees, annual fees at all. Right?
That's nice, man. So as for the fees, are there any other fees? Because I'm thinking as a seller now, like we get paid from marketplaces, we pay to other accounts. So within this ecosystem, we withdraw money to our own bank if needed. Are there any other fees in this chain that you maybe I haven't mentioned and you can think of that sellers should be aware of, like, or that's it?
High level basis, right? We only charge transaction fees. We only charge transaction fees based on the third party transfers, right? Withdraw into a bank account or pay to a third party bank account. That's the only transaction we have, right? Other than that, withdrawing from the marketplaces, free of charge. Transferring between WorldFirst account, free of charge. But on top of that, basic functionality of payments. Because I mentioned we also have the features about financial management, right? We have some different value-added products. I haven't mentioned yet as World Card, which is a corporate card with a best-in-class cashback scheme so far, and World Trade, which is digital escrow services. You're able to provide extra guarantee if you're dealing with a large amount of transaction with your supplier, or the first time new supplier, the new country you get into, you want to have an extra guarantee or fulfillment kind of exporting, right? Because we can be the digital platform to secure your money before the supplier fully fulfill their deliveries. Then we can release the money as the middleman, right, into your supplier account, provide you another peace of mind.
So you're saying there's two other products, right?
Yeah.
So just to conclude,
but again, talking about fees, right? We don't charge anything for World Card. We only provide you a cashback, help you to stay financially fitness, right? Help you to cut down the cost. And meanwhile, for the escrow, we will charge the management fees. Depends on the size of transaction you are on percentage basis.
So let's dive into the card, man. We'll then dive into the escrow kind of service, which is also interesting, kind of an assurance service for the transaction.
Yeah,
but let's
takes us as another 3 or 4 cup of coffee to talk around. Yeah, let's go to the card first.
Yeah. All right, let's go. So you offer a card. What does it mean? What is a card? It means like we get a physical card, right, to our location where we are, I guess, where we have signed up for with WorldFirst. You can send it to our home or to our office. What can we do with that card? Can we pay for our coffee? Speaking of coffee, right? Or can we only pay for transactions within our business? Or we can also spend it on like day-to-day things. Can you tell us about the card, basically? Yeah.
In terms of usage, I have to be cautious in case any misleading. But let me phrase that.
Yes.
Right. Coming to the usage of World Card. The type of the card, right? Let's start from the type of card. So as of today, the World Card is a virtual corporate card, which is built inside your WorldFirst account, right? As long as you have the WorldFirst account, you'll be able to make your self-service to activate with a few clicks to activate this virtual card in your WorldFirst account system. Then later on, you can use it for any scenario, any portal who, let's say, service provider like Google Ads, right, Amazon Ads, right? Whatever live streaming, marketing, or the other kind of fulfillment logistics, whenever they can accept the card payment, you'll be able to plug in with your word card number, right, and make the transactions with the card. So the card will help you to deduct the balance according to your payment, right, from your account. And meanwhile, the beauty of the card is we will provide you a monthly refund, monthly cashback, right? Sorry, it's not refund. Let me rephrase. Monthly cashback, right? Based on how much you spend across this different platform, right? And give you another piece of cost saving. If you click this video like a few weeks or months later, we probably have introduced the physical cards, which is a physical Master, Visa, or corporate cards for you to utilize the card payment, expand the payment into more offline scenarios, right? But again, we concentrate or highly recommend the usage of this card into a business-related purpose, right? Your travels, your company expenses, accounting, advertising, marketing, logistics, whatsoever is business-oriented, right? We can use it both offline and online.
Yeah, Shawn, we're going to plug in the description a link, hopefully on the website to the card itself so people can read about it. And of course, if they're watching...
a link of the introduction page of the card, right? Because we couldn't jump into the card sign up directly. Before you activate the card, you should have a WorldFirst account way ahead, then move into the card activation.
Yeah. Makes sense. Okay, we're gonna link it in the description, whatever resources there are for people to read more.
We have a dedicated page.
Perfect. We'll do that. And as you mentioned, in a few months, hopefully, whenever our viewers watching from the future already, there is a physical card. So, by the way, just a question. I guess we can pay for, let's say, we go buy something in a duty free, right? In a duty free between flights, right? We just decide to buy something, okay? Can we also withdraw cash from that card with time? What do you think? Or since it's still not there, it's not clear. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, we couldn't withdraw cash with the card.
Okay, so it's going to be for payments.
It's for payment. Yeah, it is. Yeah,
so
it is pretty much similar as most of the corporate card on the market.
So basically, it's used for online transactions. Even in the real world, we could just tap it. What we do these days, right? We tap it on those machines that scan the card, basically, and we pay. But we cannot go, at least right now. Again, things change. Who knows? Maybe in 3 years, things will be different. So we'll have always the link to the updated page in the description, which will help for our viewers to be updated, right?
We'll always keep adding more features,
Exactly,
which is valuable users, right? And talking about the card usage again, right? As long as you receive the physical card, you'll also be able to link them into your Google Pay, Apple Pay, right? Make itself easier to tap the card wherever you need for your business expenses.
And are there fees on those transactions with the card, I guess? So let's say we're paying, we're buying something. I like to read books, for example. I like to buy books in duty free sometimes. I see a book, boom, like let's say the book cost me, we might not go into the exact details of how much.
It's fine. Yes.
But let's say we pay.
Yeah, simply saying just take it for a typical credit card or a debit card. No, there's no fees, right? And the merchants just charge you whatever dollar or euro amount, you just pay for it. Yeah, from the user perspective, it's free of charge. Yeah.
Nice. So let's say I buy a book for
cash back.
So let's say I buy a book for $20, for example. I pay $20. I get charged $20 on my account, but because I use the card, some of this money, whatever percentage, will go to my cashback. So actually, I made a little money on that in a way.
Simply saying the more you spend, the more cashback you receive at the end of the month, right?
Nice.
But always bear in mind it's for business purpose, right? Business related purpose.
But just a question, I'm curious, business-related purpose, is this something that then is checked by WorldFirst? Or let's say I bought a meal again in a duty-free, or not in a duty-free, like in an airport, right? And I bought a book. Just curious, this is kind of a business travel, I would say, right? Kind of thing. And a book is like a business
off record. Off record. We have to say we have screening based on the usage purpose of this transaction. There are different codes being categorized.
Interesting.
What kind of transaction is that, right?
Wow.
But we accommodate most of the type of transactions right?
Nice, man.
We only block anything, let's say, illegal or outside.
Yeah, yeah,
Let's
of course.
keep this off record, right? But again, in reality, it's difficult to define whether this purchase is for your business or for yourself as a company director, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Typically, the company director pay for their travels and bill into their company expenses, right?
Mm-hmm.
So as long as this kind of transaction is legit,
Mm-hmm.
we're able to support that, right? But I will suggest not really give too many in-depth details on that, because these will matter whether we draw a line. But right now we're trying to be as inclusive as possible to accommodate all type of transaction.
Thank you. I appreciate for going into details, man. That's interesting. Yeah, thank you for that. So that's pretty cool, man. I think it can be used for, again, for business purposes, as you mentioned, or, you can tap the card to make the payment. And if our supplier is asking us to pay them maybe through somehow through credit card, maybe can we do that as well, I guess, right? So we just kind of can pay on their website, right? Just put in the details of the card and then just pay, right?
Yeah, that is the perfect scenarios, right? Because again, e-commerce world is hyper interconnected.
Mm-hmm.
You'll be able time to time you'll be able to see during the checkout stage of your service providers, right? No matter what type they are, they have the built-in payment gateways for you, right? And majority of them they open for the card payment. That's
Mm-hmm.
the
Yeah.
time and chance you can claim
Mm.
for the extra cost saving by using your card.
Pretty awesome, man. As for the card, because I thought of moving to the kind of escrow service, but is there something I should have asked you about the card and I haven't? It seems like we have covered it sort of, but maybe I missed something.
I
And of
think
course,
I think I
yeah.
think we have covered, yeah, the most of the functionality. Yeah. But if you feel better to run through that into a more structural manner, I'm more than happy. Or we can just go for what we had.
Awesome. So I'm,
Yeah.
I'm saying that for our viewer who's watching, first I want to acknowledge them for being with us here and investing time, and hopefully it's useful. Would appreciate a like on the video and dislike if it's not good, and tell us why. And of course, if there are any comments, questions, something we maybe have missed or whatever, feel free to drop comments and I'll get back to you guys in the comments section. And okay, so cool, Shawn. Let's move then to the escrow service. That means like today, if I have a new supplier, or for some reason we're having a big deal, like let's say we're paying for like a big amount, say of some type of product, let's say 100,000 units. Each unit costs us, let's say $5. It's a $500,000 transaction. For some people it's like, day to day, and they're like just waking up, they're clicking on a button. But for me, that would be quite a big transaction. And I would be like, okay, I want to make sure that, whatever they're promising, those 100,000 units are going to be exactly as they have promised them to be. And yeah, like, and they want to know, like, hey, who the hell is this guy? Like, can he really pay me the 500,000? So both of us would appreciate a kind of escrow service that you can provide. How does it work then?
Before we jump into our World Trade escrow product, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's look back.
Mm-hmm.
The old-fashioned method for this kind of trade guarantee, right? What
Mm-hmm.
tools do we have? Typically,
Mm-hmm.
we will have access into letter of credit, right? I don't know how much do you know about the LCs, right? Letter of credit is like a typical banking offerings, right, for global traders, but this is documentation heavy service and quite costly. You have to have certain amounts of deposit into your own bank account in order to make the bank to issue this letter of credit to your suppliers, right? But again, the process could be very tedious. You have to navigate, or being a master of the UCP 500, UCP 600. This is something totally new for the e-commerce sellers, especially new sellers to navigate. Things could end up very costly and very tricky, right? For supplier side as well, they have to follow very strict formalities, right, in a very long lead time in order them to fulfill or submit the trade documentations into the bank. And bank takes a long time to review and release the fund after they feel everything is in place, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's the old-fashioned something
Sounds
happened over the
complicated a
decade.
little bit.
It's a
Okay.
complicated, yeah. Basically, it's using between the the large traders, importers and exporters, provided the safeguard for the trade from the banking perspective, right? But we take it digitalized, more inclusive, right? So simply saying, those of you have a WorldFirst account, right? You're going to have the first deal. You are able to activate by clicking a few steps to activate, to call out Escrow functions, input the details of your transactions. The transactions are about the trade, but you're purchasing some products from China, for example, right? You're able to input the basic information like product description, quantity, packaging, units, unit price, total price, currency as well, right? The essential details of the purchasing contract between you and supplier. Because talking about smaller SMEs, the trading documentation or agreement could be very unstandardized, right? But we provide a portal, we provide a gateway for you to standardize every itemized details, right? To make things clear between you and supplier side. The suppliers will receive this order from a World Trade system to have a clear picture about the fulfillment details, right? How many products, quantities, or you can also specialize the quality requirements, right? Receiving, accepting requirements in the World Trade portal, right? To drop it into your supplier's account. Once they receive it, they have to fulfill according to the itemized requirements you have, right? And they are obliged to submit their trading documentation, shipping documentation, like bill of ladings, right, airway bill, alongside the packing list, alongside the commercial invoice in one place, right? And back into you to review, right? Whether this is something you are expecting, whether something goes wrong or not, right? Whether you are comfortable to click the button for us to release the fund, into the supplier's account. Again, this is cutting the lead time in interchanging documentation, right? And remove the paperwork, remove the carbon emission as well, right? Lead time dramatically being cut down, right? You'll be able to make an instant confirmation over the line and drop the payment into your supply, right? They can also have a peace of mind because WorldFirst is in middle to guarantee they can receive the payment in full as long as they can deliver what they promised.
So then at which point the transaction is being made? Like when we both have read like the conversion invoices, all these bills of lading, everything, we're like as a seller, we have like, okay, so that's what they're promising, the supplier, okay, perfect. And then the supplier, what do they see from our side as the seller? They see
the confirmation, a notice, right? Drop into their notification in the WorldFirst portal to advising them that the fund has been released into their account. So their balance, their WorldFirst balance just top up from you.
And then for that, we pay a fee, I guess, for that like comfort and for that service, right?
Yeah, we have the process fee to facilitate the whole process and provide you the tools.
So that's a set fee for different types of, I would say, probably size of transactions and different currencies. Probably there's different
based on the value of transaction. Again, it's percentage based.
And then I'm curious, Shawn, does it go down in time of transaction? So let's say we paid, as in that previous scenario. Again, we're not gonna go into specific amount of fees, but let's say transaction was what was that, like 100,000 units. Each unit is $5 for production, so that's $500,000. Let's say for that transaction, we have paid that money. The supplier receives the full money. Who pays this percentage? Like both parties?
I know what you're asking about. We provide maximize flexibilities between you and suppliers. Either your side can choose who is the party to bear these processing fees, right? It is actually mirroring the practice of a letter of credit offline, right? And in the letter of credit or in the escrow, there will be a clear terms telling suppliers or buyers who is bearing this part of fee.
So let's say for that, if we want the clear 500,000 to land in their account, based on the fees that WorldFirst will tell us we have to pay, and then we will speak with the supplier and say, okay, so these are the fees that we're up to pay. Want to share it, or shall we take it, or do you take it? It's in our negotiation phase, I would say, right? We would decide that.
Yeah, you can decide it before you log everything into a portal, right? And as for you and supply, for you and supply to set up this, because escrow could be initiated from the suppliers, or reversely, it could be initiated by the buyers. Highly depends on which party need this extra safeguarding of the trade.
Pretty cool, man. I think that can, as you mentioned, also I liked when you said the lead time, because let's say we need to get those units. Let's say we're having good sales, right? Suddenly we need a bigger order. Okay, and this is an order that us as a seller, or even them as supplier, they're like, okay, these guys seem to be legit and they're doing business. Maybe we did even a few transactions previously, but that's a big one. That's like maybe 10 times the previous transaction, and they need it now. And we need it now because we don't want to go out of stock to lose our momentum. So we need quick solutions. That sounds like a quick solution.
It's a quick solution, and building the trust, and even driving your supplier to make their fulfillment, make their delivery faster, right? Because with the escrow service, with a word trade notification being set up, it's telling your supplier, right, the payment is ready for you, standing by for you, as long as you can deliver, right, as long as you can fulfill this contract as quick as you can, right? We are ready to click the button for you, right? It's a strong signal, right, showing the trust between both sides.
I'm curious, Shawn, what happens if we can speak about that? If, for example, we've done that agreement, and then the product that we get, let's say we are sending like an inspection service to inspect those units, and we see like they have in the contract it says like they can have up to like 3% units that are, let's say, have like minor problem to them. Sometimes they have that, right, in those contracts, right? So and then after the inspection, it's not 3% that we agreed on or whatever. I'm just throwing in numbers, right? But let's say it's 6%.
Over the tolerance.
Yeah, something is wrong in the results based on what the supplier is delivering, let's say. How then do you think it would escalate towards a fair like escalation? So it can be.
Yeah, that's the beauty of the product, right? Because until you and your supplier reach alignment about the settlement, right? We can hold the fee, right? It's for you to hold the fee within the WorldFirst account, within that World Trade, right? Like a middle stage, right? Then you have more stake. You have more stake to negotiate, to start up the negotiate, right? Maybe repricing, right? Maybe some deduction, right? Maybe they send extra piece of product for you to make up the quality of delivery you're expecting, right?
So interesting.
Once you reach the agreement, you are able to release the fund in full, or you can choose to settle partially, right, based on the amount you have agreed.
Yeah, interesting, man. Sounds like it's very like what's the word for it? Fluid. It can change based on the situation, and the final goal is to get both of the parties fully agreeing to that, so then the money can be released, right? Even if there were some things that had to be fixed, like for example, this amount of units, we had like, let's say we agreed on having 3% little defects on the units, and that was 5%. But then they say like, okay, sorry, we will fix those units, but also we'll deduct like 3% from the invoice cost or something just to make up for it. Are you happy? And we're like, yeah, okay, no problem. That makes sense. Okay, happy, check again, all good, boom, release. Like, and then
it is, yeah. Because with this product in the middle, these provide you negotiation power when things go wrong, right? When things go wrong, right? Especially talking about a global trade, if you're dropping a big order into a new supplier, right?
Yeah.
Time to time, I will advise you to have this another layer of guarantee.
Pretty awesome, man. Is there anything else we should cover about this product? I mean, seems like we went and covered it. Of course, again, I'll remind our viewer, please drop comments if you have any questions.
We have break down the logic and mechanism.
Yeah, sounds like
or
it.
If you have questions, you're curious about the other aspect of this product, we are interacting more for e-commerce sellers. They typically
Yeah.
be the smaller players.
Yeah, of course. This is for big sellers, sound like, yeah. Okay, awesome. Seems like we have covered the products of WorldFirst. Of course, there are going to be more things coming up with time and more updates. Hence, we're going to have the links in the description to get updated and check it out. For example, the link to the card to see how it is these days. We're going to have always the link updated. Of course, there's going to be a link to sign up for WorldFirst. There's going to be a special promo code to use. So thank you for using that. This helps me keep my content free, and we can just create these videos and connect sellers to service providers, provide education, have some fun. And Shawn, maybe you want to share some words on the finishing note here from yourself, man, to people who are watching.
Thank you again for having me in this session, Vova. Yeah, let's stay connected for bringing up more features, more new features, alongside the development and market dynamics of the e-commerce universe, right? This is only helping us to create more value added to the sellers, to the service providers community, right? So just stay tuned and look forward to join your channel again.
Thank you, Shawn. And we're going to have all the links again in the description, all the resources from the video. And yeah, you're welcome to come for more videos, whatever ideas you come up with. I'm glad to talk to you. It was a fun session, man. I think we went in depth on some of the products. I tried to ask you questions from a perspective of a seller, of an Amazon seller, an e-commerce seller. And of course, those who are watching, maybe they're sellers from other marketplaces, or there are questions that I have missed. So we're always happy to get comments to understand, maybe, yeah, to answer them, obviously, but maybe we have missed something. Maybe there are questions that are coming up. So please, dear viewers, sellers, ask. And again, Shawn, thank you for your time today. It was fun, man. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your time. Yeah. Again, yeah, any kind of topic around e-commerce, selling globally, marketing, logistics, right, currency risk, the fraud protection, yeah, any kind of every topic, I'm happy to address if you need.
Thank you very much.